Now recording, Craig. It's been a minute, Craig. I feel like I say this every single time I get on an episode, but I don't know. Who knows? Oh, bless me. I don't know if that recorded or not. I see my icon light up, but hopefully I didn't. Anyways, thank you for blessing me, Craig, this fine evening, and with my sneeze in there. Yeah, it's been another drought of episodes, if you want to say. Just been busy as balls, and on the weekends, and been tired as balls on the weekends. So whoever invented this 5 day work week is bullshit. I'm pretty sure I saw it on TikTok. I'm pretty sure it was Rockefeller back in the day. Um, you're a cunt. So your family's a cunt. Jesus. I mean, why? Why? We don't need 5 days to get two. 4. I can get behind 4. 4 to 3. That's a good ratio there. Please, can we turn it around? Also, speaking of that, working, it's really fun. I know we don't talk about politics here, and this is not necessarily who cares, anyways. The federal government is talking about a bill upping the minimum wage to $25 an hour, considering it's been $7.25 for what 20, 30 years. That's cool, guys. That doesn't fix the problem of the rest of the economy. I don't know if any of y'all have checked in the latest economical standings of things, here in America, let alone the world. So, yeah, that's cool. Cool. $25. I mean, that's wonderful. Don't think it's going to help anyone buy a RAM anytime soon. And then continuing on this monetary subject, Steam Machine, $1,100 is supposed to be an entry point for people taking their PCs into the living room, but $1,100 is not going to cut it, my guys. That's without the controller. That's bullshit. That's stupid. And apparently it doesn't even run that great. So yeah, good job, guys. Good job, Valve, on that. It's not necessarily y'all's fault in a sense, but the people, this whole RAM shortage is y'all's fault. The memory shortage, everything shortage is y'all's fault. So good job, guys. I'm glad that y'all are trying to make your money, make your nut and everything like that, while the middle class person, even the poor class person, can't enjoy a hobby for the few hours that they get in their lifetime. So thank you for that, for being a bunch of douchebags. So good job. And then Project Helix with Xbox. Who knows what that is going to be? They don't have any Xboxes. They've discontinued, I think, Xbox Series S's now, which is supposed to be their version of the cheaper. And on top of that, I think it's their third time this year alone, and we're only 6 months in, of upping their prices. So good job on that. I was thinking to myself the other day, it doesn't make logical sense how, if you're Xbox, you already don't have enough Xboxes out here in the wild, because no one wants to buy your console, considering if somebody has a PC, they're already playing your games. And if they have a PlayStation, they're clearly getting your games as well. Oh, sorry, I forgot about your exclusives that are coming up. Clockwork Revolution looks dope as shit, and you're gonna gonna kill that game for them, unfortunately. Gears ED, I'm sure, will sell copies, but it's sure as shit not selling Xboxes. So good job on that. But I can't say, obviously Sony's doing the same thing. But anyways, what I was thinking is, if you don't have enough Xboxes in the wild already, and you want to create exclusives again, so why would you raise your prices yet again to offset? Oh, they're becoming so expensive to make, but yeah, we're going to make exclusives again. So we're going to raise the prices. If there's already not enough Xboxes in the wild to sell your games in general, why would you think that people want to buy your now double priced shitty box is going to sell a couple games. That business, like, I didn't go. I went to college. I have a degree, but it's not in economics or anything like that. But and I'm pretty stupid, but in my head, that's not how it should work. I'm dumb, clearly, but that's something's not mathing here correctly in my head. Raise price on thing that's not wanted because we have something that you would want. But if somebody's not already buying it when there's not exclusives, why? This is no math good and not good. I'm not having a stroke, by the way. I'm just talking stupid. But yeah, and then Sony, obviously. And now there's rumors that they're going to release the PS6 next year. And it's costing them, it's went up by $200 from $700 to $900. So we're going to see the PS6 probably at $1,000. And their logic behind it is they're ready to move on to the next generation, even though this generation, for the most part, I would honestly think that most consider it a failure, not a failure, but definitely disappointing in terms of the games. And it's a twofold thing because the pandemic really threw a wrench in the entire economical standpoint throughout the entire world. So in video games, in the media industry, movies and everything, it threw a wrench in all that. But for video games, it set development way back because they had to, although in my head, you could, if you were secure with your work from home, then you would have been fine. But I get it. You gotta, for video games, you probably got to be able to, a bit more collaborative and stuff like that. So it obviously slowed them down. They put out a brand new console in the midst of a freaking pandemic, and then no one could get them because there wasn't enough supply. So that set back a lot of studios, and then for Sony, their whole live service push was just stupid as shit. They're killing Destiny 2. They're about to kill Marathon. There will be no Destiny 3. And then the audacity of the moron to tweet out something like, yeah, we want to continue. We want to bring back live service. Yeah, that's worked out real well for you, my guy. It's really awesome how the people with a lot of money are the ones in power, and yet they blame other people for not buying things with their money because they don't see their vision. Or you could just not be a moron and listen to the people who's been buying your shit for the last 30 years and, listen to their opinions. I know you've clearly made it up the ladder and stuff, but the people below you and out in the world, the wild, are the ones that are funding your dumb ideas, and we've maybe stuck with you for some of your dumb ideas, but majority of the time we've stuck with you for your wins, but you've not had a lot of great wins lately. So, once again, I'm a dumb person, lowly person. I don't have great ideas. I just rant on the internet in this podcast, and then I play some video games. So, but I clearly buy video games. So you would think if I'm buying the video games that I want to play, you would listen to your following. But who knows? Who cares? So yeah, PS6 probably next year. Gonna be $1,000. Not a lot of people will buy it. I'm sure bots will somehow buy it, and then sell it for even more because that's how the world works these days. And good for y'all making your money. If that's your job, that's your job, I guess, or hobby, whatever you want to call it, but maybe not be such douchey when it comes to that. Other people want to play the things that they like. So, anyways, obviously you can tell I don't know where all this came from. Oh, I think it's so somebody that I follow on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, pointed out that Insomniac is actually on track to release Venom, a spinoff, probably. It'll probably be a spinoff game next year, because they're releasing Wolverine, Marvel Wolverine this year in September. Dope. Looking forward to that for sure. But they would, if they come out with Venom next year, Insomniac will have delivered 5 original AAA games in this generation alone. And Naughty Dog has put out 1. And there's not a sight on the release date for Intergalactic. So I don't know what Insomniac is doing. And you could sit here and say all you want about Insomniac and the Spider-Man games. They're maybe the exact same, and they're beat 'em ups. They're fantastic games. Funny enough, I just beat Spider-Man 2. I did not play it when it first came out, but it came to PlayStation Plus, picked it up, played it on and off, and then finally completed it the other day. Put almost 30 hours into it. 100%. I didn't platinum, but 100%ed it. Got all the collectibles and shit. It's an awesome game. For anybody who loves superhero games, Insomniac is the person. And the first Spider-Man was awesome. Miles Morales, great. And Spider-Man 2 is even better because of the combination of the two. So what they're going to do with Wolverine is going to be awesome. And for them to do Venom, one of my favorite Spider-Man characters, I would love Carnage in there for sure. But I mean, there's spoilers. There's hints at it in Spider-Man 2, so we'll see. Maybe they talk about it in Venom. I haven't played Ratchet and Clank. I have it downloaded. I've never played any of the Ratchet and Clanks, but I've heard wonderful things about it when it came out. So for them to put out 5 games in this generation alone is spectacular. Like, they're on Capcom level, honestly. Because, you have Bethesda, who doesn't put out... They've put out, Starfield this generation? We have no sight on Elder Scrolls 6. We have no sight on Fallout 5. No sight on Fallout 3 Remaster, if there is one. No sight on the release date for Fallout New Vegas, if there is one. And, all they do is Elder Scrolls Online, which, if that's your thing, that's your thing. And then Fallout 76. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But it's just I just don't know how, as a studio, you could be okay with releasing a game every 5 to 10 years. And a publisher would be okay with that. And the bad thing is, we know, especially for Bethesda games, say they come out with Fallout 5 in the next 5 to 10 years, it's still going to be buggy as shit, because that's their niche for whatever reason, and it's acceptable. But it's in reality, it's not. So I don't know. I know this episode has started off wonderful in terms of ranting. I really don't know what I was going to do. Well, I guess I was going to talk about beating Spider-Man 2. Like I said earlier, it was a wonderful game. Put almost 30 hours into it, and I haven't done all the trophies. I don't know if I will, just because, what does a platinum actually mean? But it's been awesome. And then I also beat Kenna. I don't. In the game they said Kenna, but it's kind of spelled like Kena or Kenna. I don't know. It was an awesome game. It only took me about 8 to 12 hours. I'm not going to go back and do all the collectibles just because it's one of those games that you if you use a Map Genie, it would be great, and you could start from there and do all the collectibles. But I'm not going to go back. The only reason I really wanted to play it is because of watching, from the whatever the state of play was in February. They showed off Scars of Casamora, and it looks awesome. And I know Donkey has mentioned it to me that Kenna is a wonderful game, and I completely agree with him. And what I saw for Scars of Casamora looked even better. The world looks awesome. Looks like it's going to be a little bit more open, which is my style of game. I hope the combat will be a little bit harder, but I will say on hard, the freaking boss rushes for the last boss in the first game is kind of hard. A little annoying, but it has its thing and it's hard. So I hope they do well. But the disappointing about that is it wasn't shown anywhere in Summer Game Fest. Not with Sony, not with the Xbox, not. Well, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be with Xbox, but it wasn't shown at Sony's State of Play or Showcase, and it wasn't shown at Summer Game Fest. So that, and because of how stacked September is already, it's probably getting delayed until 2027. Because I don't know if you've also been living under a rock and you play video games, but pre-orders for GTA 6 has went live. And holy shit. They have supposedly already generated in pre-orders alone $3 billion. That is insane. I realize the just generational thing that GTA is for anyone and everyone. That's the thing. Grand Theft Auto brings anyone, from a complete casual person to an RP person to just a straight thug who just plays GTA. To anyone can play a GTA game. It's not that you're a sports person and you stick with your Maddens and stuff. It's not you're just a COD person, first person shooter. GTA is played by anyone and everyone, from young kids who clearly shouldn't play it to middle-aged people who've grown up with GTA to older people. It's insane. But for them to generate $3 billion in pre-orders in 24 hours, it was like 24 or 48 hours, is insane, brother. And this will be the first game, I think, outside of Nintendo that is starting standard at $80. So that was one thing. And it comes with no disc. It's just a straight digital code. They currently have no release date on physical releases. There's rumor of December. So, it's insane that they've worked on this game for 13 years, probably 14, and they can't release a physical copy. It sounds like Rockstar's always been really protective of their games of getting leaks and stuff, even though some kid or teenager did it last year. Pretty sure he's still in prison, but it's whatever. And then the $100 one, the deluxe or whatever, is getting a lot of controversy behind it because you buy the $100 version and you get so many things unlocked from stores, tattoo shops, car shops, certain cars. It's locked behind that $20 extra paywall, and that is insane. And yet, I'm sure thousands have pre-ordered that $100 version. Am I going to say I'm going to do that? Probably not. I might get normal GTA because it comes out in November. Yeah, November, like something middle. So, in everybody else is avoiding October, November, December, really, with the release date besides your, Call of Duties. So and there's no GTA Online at launch. Also, in the very fine print with the $100 is you get a free month of GTA Plus subscription. Does that mean that you will have to have a subscription to play the game in general? Because if so, that's bullshit. But who really knows? I don't know. I'm sure I'll play it. I'm really looking forward to the GTA like online because I love GTA 5 online. I'm hoping Black Hammer and maybe Kiwi will play with me if it's going to be around the same thing, which I imagine it will be. It'll just be in this big ass world, with heists and shit. So I'm sure it'll be wonderful. So, yeah, the industry is just in a wild just state, my guy. I just don't know. And gaming, video game development and everything is actually one of the younger industries if you really think about it, because it's only been around for 40-ish, 50-ish years, and it only really just started to boom in the 90s. So I'm not going to say that it's going to take a dip in the next year, because also Sony put out something that they had their lowest console sales of a month since like 2000, and then Xbox obviously continues to do shit, and it was their lowest ever. They haven't been there as long as Sony has, but still. And then, Nintendo Switch 2, it's become the second fastest selling console in US history, only behind the Game Boy Advance. And they've announced their price hike starting in September. So, and I'm sure it's only going to go up, because this memory loss thing isn't supposed to fall off until maybe 2030 at the latest. So, yeah, I know this industry is just it's in a weird place. It really is. So be more like Insomniac. Make your games, sell the games, make them good, make them come out. I know it's your art or whatever you want to consider it when you're making these games, but brother, it can't come out when somebody is just a whole new person. And like Square Enix, for them, I know they haven't had the best track record in the past 5 to 10 years, honestly. But they got away from their exclusive deal with Sony. Final Fantasy VII Part 3 Revelation is going to be on every platform from PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PC on the exact same date. That's awesome. But the bigger thing is they are releasing a full remake trilogy. 3 games. And they're all full games in 7 years' time. And Naughty Dog can only release 1. I get, if anybody ever watches this, they're going to talk about the live service game that they got canceled for them, and that's shitty. That's on Sony. But when was the last time a Naughty Dog game was released? Last of Us Part 2, 2020. 6 years ago, brother. 6 years. They've had one game this generation. And obviously they've remade the remaster for Last of Us Part 2. And part one and whatever. Like they're like Elder Scrolls Skyrim at this point, trying to be funny. And one game, and you're one of the biggest developers for Sony, and your next game was shown off 2 years ago at this point, and there's like been nothing about it. That's just insane. That's just insane. It doesn't make sense to me how we've come up so far along with technology, especially in the video game industry, and it's taking that much longer for video games to be made and cost that much more. It just doesn't make sense. But at the same time, obviously people complain about these companies, these developers remaking games. But why not? If you know something if you have an IP that's beloved from your catalog and will sell units, why not just remake it? Because these publishers are very quick to cut ties with anybody who has a below what their stockholders think it should be and is not making them a shitload of money. So I get it on two sides. It's shitty. Because we probably should have another Uncharted game at this point. We probably could have had another Last of Us Part 3 game, honestly. Because now it's like Intergalactic maybe comes out in 27. Probably not. Most likely 28 with the next generation. You make a Last of Us TV show, and the season 3, I don't know if it's been like fully confirmed, but it definitely stopped production or something like that. Like season 3, you can't do too much more with it, my guys, because you're gonna have to slow it down if you are planning on making a Last of Us Part 3. So I don't know. There's just a lot of things out there that are weird. So yeah, I beat Spider-Man 2. It was a great game. I beat Kenna. It was a great game. I got Star Fox. It's on its way. It's got good reviews. I never played Star Fox. I know of Star Fox, but I'm going to play it when it comes in. And then I did snag Lost Soul Aside, which was a failure from last year, for $10. So I figured, why not? So, but yeah, kind of just what I've been doing. Just wanted to rant, honestly. I don't know why. Then just playing some Grounded 2 again with Black Hammer. He wants to get back into it. Oh, I guess also we beat Reanimal. It was the worst $40 Black Hammer's ever spent. I don't know. Some games are worth $20 to $40, even on a 2 to 5 hour experience, but Reanimal was not. I didn't understand anything. It was just creepy. For 4.5 hours, I was just like, what is happening? And not in a like, ooh, this is really neat way. This is just like, it's a messed up thing. And I don't know. It was worthless, honestly. I would rather play Hello Kitty Island Adventure 2 over that game again. And there's talk of DLC. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. we beat that, but we're back to Grounded 2. Trying to beat this last section that came out a few months ago before the big update with the pond and zip lines and everything coming out in August. So kind of just what I've been doing really is going on there and building things up, preparing for the zip line, because that's going to be so awesome. I wish they would create like a flying buggy. that would probably break the game, and it would probably break my computer, but it'd be fun because it's just the yard is so big, and I get it that they've added buggies and they're pretty quick, but like I don't know. That's a sorry. That's probably one of my only complaints. One of my complaints with Grounded 2 is getting from one end to the other, especially how it's not locked off, but how it's built with like the brick wall and shit like that. So it makes it difficult if you don't know where you're going, and if you have it lined up like markers and everything like that. It's kind of annoying. So and then we have Power 1.0, and from what I've been seeing, it's going to be a completely new game in a sense for the most part. I haven't seen anything about voice acting, which is kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, I get it. It would probably make it awkward because I feel like just in their sense, they're going for funny. So I feel like they wouldn't get the best of voice actors to do this game. So maybe they'll, stick with just got to read and think. They are actually doing story-driven missions, which is awesome. So hopefully Kiwi will be done with PoE, and I'll decide if I want to start a new world or continue in mine and just add him if he wants to play. Same goes with Black Hammer. I love crafting survival games for whatever reason, mainly because I just love to build shit. I just don't have enough time to build shit. But I would love to get into them. And there's a lot coming out with Power World 1.0. We played No Rest for the Wicked. It had a little bit of crafting in it. It was kind of like it was already, you just added things. But, and then Grounded 2. Excuse me, the big update coming in August. RuneScape Dragon Wilds 1.0, I think 1.0 or whatever, is coming to consoles, and it's going to be free on PlayStation Plus in October. So I kind of want to play that. Valheim 1.0 is coming soon. Me and Kiwi we started that. It's one of those things also, there's not like voice acting from what I remember, but a lot of people love Valheim. So, and then, my biggest anticipated one is No Light by Fire, or No Light, No Fire, or whatever it is. People who made freaking, it's Hello Games. It's not Starfield, obviously. No Man's Sky. And that game launched with so many aspirations to be one of the biggest things ever, and then it was just beat instantly. But from what they have added on to that game, it's been one of the most supported games and most successful games because of what they've done. And they're trying to do that on just one planet of like Earth. And it looks awesome. It gives me Crimson Desert vibes in terms of exploration and wildness of how you explore it with the mounts and shit. Because I'm pretty sure you get like a dragon. It looks awesome. So that's the one I really want to be, to play. Because crafting survival games can just last so long. It's about you, how you want to put your time and effort into those games. And since I love crafting, building shit, those are the games I'm kind of gravitating towards these days. On top of you single players that I do, like Spider-Man, Kana, and things like that. And then Wolverine in September. So, there's like no release date even confirmed for it. Holy shit, I'm tired. So, but yeah, I have plenty of things to play over the next few months. Just got to find my time and put in the effort to play these games and be awake to play them because there's some awesome games out there. So we definitely are in there where we cannot say there's no games to play. There is plenty of games for you to play from the indie level to the AA to the AAA, whatever you want to do. It's just about finding your game that you want to play. I recommend to not play just one game like I did for over a decade with WoW, because there was other things that came out that I could have dove into. But if you choose to play one game, because that's the only time you have, by all means, just don't play the game. If you end up hating it, and only play it because, well, I've put all this money or all this time, and you put money into it if you want, put all this time into it, that this is all I know, and I don't want it to go away. Take a break. It's that simple. It will do much better to take a break, to stop hating to log on to that game. So, but yeah, and then I was gonna try Adventures of Elliot, but the other Kind of Funny that I listened to, I have mixed feelings about some of the reviews sometimes, but most of the time they're pretty spot on of what I feel. And for them, Adventures of Elliot is just a mediocre game. And I didn't want to sink 20 to 30 hours into it if it's just a mediocre game. And I enjoyed the demo for the most part. But I don't think it was going to expand more than that. The time thing seemed really cool. However, Kind of Funny explained, it's the exact same 4 timelines and the exact same layout. It's just one could be future based, one could be older, one could be dilapidated, and they didn't tie it very well. So that sucks for that team because I've heard wonderful things about the Octopath team. However, I am definitely looking forward to Final Fantasy Resonance. And when I get time to pre-order that, I will go pre-order a physical copy because it looks amazing. So, and then also when Revelation pre-orders go up, going to get that 1000%. I think it's time. I have only gotten the deluxe editions for Remake and Intergrade and Rebirth. I would definitely do my best to get the collector's edition for this one, since it'll be the finale. This is the end to... it's the end to a lot of things for Square Enix. A retelling of Part 7, Final Fantasy 7. They've mixed things up. The combat is just phenomenal. I don't care what anyone says. They want Final Fantasy to stick with turn-based like Clear Obscure and stuff, but you cannot deny that this combat is phenomenal. You just truly cannot. They've perfected it. It started a little bit with 12. Well, it really started with 10, and it's... I would say it started with 12, in my opinion. And then Final Fantasy 15, they really tried it. Didn't work. 16, obviously. And then in between that, 7 Remake got into it. And then Rebirth took it to a whole new level, and they're only going to refine it with Revelation. So I'm looking forward to it so much. I hope it comes... They say it's spring. I hope it's March. Because I think each one has come out in February, maybe? I could be wrong. February, March. I'm hoping it's March. So, and then we get a random ass trailer. Almost probably a month ago at this point. that Kingdom Hearts 4 is still real. And there's rumors that Square is talking about a 2027 release for Kingdom Hearts 4. If Square somehow puts out Part 3 in early 2027 and the Kingdom Hearts in late 2027, they're back. They're like straight back. So, but yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And then I'm pretty sure, get Tides of Annihilation next year. That's gonna be awesome. So, but yeah, I think I'm done ranting at this point. Donkey lied to me. He said he was going to start playing God of War 2018. Hasn't started it. Maybe he's busy out there, doing his thing. But my guy, you need to play it. It's awesome. Also, I'm pretty sure we're going to get God of War Lafe next year. That's going to be even better. And anyone saying because it's a female protagonist, you're a moron. She's been in both games. She's very important to the story, clearly. So, I wonder where we're at with the trilogy remake. When that's going to release. So, yeah, 2026 is still a great year. I hope it chills out after September. And, I think everybody's trying to they're trying to get it before GTA, which I get it clearly. But I don't know. And also, just another disappointing thing, it feels like Pokemon is just not taking 30th anniversary real. So, we got literally Fire Red, Leaf Green. That's the only games we've really got. They've done Pokopia, but let's be honest. I know it done well, it sold well, but that's not what Pokemon fans would want. Why? You're 6 months in to your 30th anniversary and you haven't. I don't know. It just feels like you're not doing enough, in my opinion. So, still rumors of Gen 3, or Gen 2 or Gen 3, the remakes being put on this shop. If that happens, that would be even awesome. I would love to get Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire by the end of the year. I think that would be a worthy 30th anniversary, and to talk about more about Winds and Waves. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll try to get back to doing episodes weekly if there's shit to talk about, if it's just rants or playing games, but I definitely have enough to play over the next few weeks to months, so we'll make it happen. Saw Toy Story 5 was awesome. The last 3 movies essentially could have been great endings to the franchise, but they got to make money, and for them to release it on Father's Day weekend was just a phenomenal marketing thing. It's on track to make $1.3 billion. Oh, yeah, good for them. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it there. I'll put it up when I can. It's on Spotify, it's on YouTube. I don't think it's ever been on Apple Podcasts because I couldn't get it connected or whatever. So, go there. Rate us, like us, don't like us, thumbs down, leave a mean comment. I don't care. Just engage with it. It'd be wonderful. But yeah, thank you for listening. And remember, you can continue to believe us if you don't. Peace.